So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and go back to like the week I was with Christ. I'm gonna go back to the second to last night I was with him, and then the last night I was with him. So the second to last night, he taught me some things. He taught me everything. I'm talking about I'm at the park 4 hours straight, all the way until the sun came up, right? And then my phone, literally, because I was about to head to work. Almost every night, 4 out of the 8 nights, I would literally be up all night and then head into work. Like, I didn't even really sleep that week. Like, it was insane, but I felt fine. Like, I had energy. I was good, right? But after the second to last night, he taught me everything he did all night, and I was about to leave. I was about to, go home, shower, get ready for work. And I picked up my phone, and this song came on. It's called Spirit Lead Me. Spirit lead me when my trust is without woe. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what song is that? But at this point, I understand, like, nothing is an accident. Nothing is a coincidence. So I'm listening to the words, and it's talking about Spirit lead me, like trusting God, trusting Christ, trusting him to the point where you walk into water and you keep going even until you can't stand no more, right? So I'm like, I know you don't want me to get in this water. I know you don't want me to get in this random lake, this green, brown, dirty looking lake. Like, ain't no way, Christ. Like, ain't no way you want me to get into this lake, because I don't mess. I mean, who just gets in a random lake, right? So I walk up to the dock of the lake. I kid y'all not. I look down and I jump, because basically I see the biggest snake I ever seen that wasn't in a zoo, like right there. And when I jumped, it jumped and it slithered away. And I'm like, I don't mess with snakes. Like, I don't mess with snakes at all. Bro, not even 5-10 seconds later, after the snake slithers away, I watched this turtle swim up to me, y'all, and it stopped right in front of me. I'm talking about looking me dead in the face, dead in the eyes. We lock eyes, and the turtle is like moves his head, like, come on, get in. Like, you know what you gotta do, get in. And I'm like, this is not real. Like, this is not happening. Like, no way. So I ain't gonna lie. Even through all that, I stood there for like 15 minutes. Like, and at this point, it's like 7 in the morning. Like, people were actually like at the park jogging and walking and all this stuff. Like, it's a bunch of people around. I'm like, okay, you taught me all these things. This is obviously something that I guess doesn't happen often. So I take off my shoes, take off my socks, put my feet in the water, and it's like tadpoles and stuff nibbling at me and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, turtles all around me and stuff. At the end of the lake, like, I'm looking straight ahead, I literally see bubbles start foaming up, and I'm like, you want me to go way out there? So I'm like, screw it. I start walking. I had the song in my head too. Spirit lead me where my trust is without borders. And I'm walking and I hear people like, what the heck is this guy doing? Like, there could be water moccasins in there. There could be viruses and all kinds of stuff. This guy's crazy. I literally hear them as I'm walking through the lake, but I'm just focused. I'm just focused on that spot and I'm walking. And when I get like halfway there, I know that the water is brown. The water is greenish, brown, dirty, right? I know everybody's perception, everybody that's watching me, they see this lake and it's brown, right? But as I'm walking, the waves in front of me, I'm looking down, like the waves I'm creating from walking forward, I'm looking down into the water. It is crystal clear blue. I'm like, oh my God. Once again, I know everybody that's watching sees this water is dirty and brownish green, like swamp water. But as I'm walking through, I see it is crystal clear. Like, it didn't, bruh, it was incredible. So I'm just like, oh, I keep walking. I'm kind of tall. I'm 6'3", so I get to a point where I can't walk anymore. I have to start swimming. And then I start, swimming until I get to the spot. Of course, when I get to the spot, it's like, now what? I got to go underwater. So I go underwater with my eyes open. And when I go underwater, bro, it looked like Atlantis or something. Like, it was crystal clear blue. I'm looking at pyramids and buildings and all this stuff underwater. I'm talking about I'm underwater with my eyes open like this for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds. And I come up like, it's like I felt a bubble of life being put into me. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. So I come up, I look around, like everybody's like, what the heck? Like, this guy's like crazy or whatever, right? I go back to where I can stand up just so I don't have to be, swimming in the lake. And I just stood in the middle of the lake. Like, that whole time I was scared to get in the water. That whole time I was scared to get in the lake. And look at me like, I'm perfectly fine. Like, the fear, like, get rid of fear. It just hit me like, don't be fearful. That nothing happened. Like, I'm good. So I get out the water. All these people start coming up to me like, dude, that was crazy. Like, what made you do that? And I told him, I was just like, you wouldn't understand, bro. Like, you would not understand anything if I told you that I have been coming here every night with Christ. And that was like my test of faith. And this lady came up to me. She was like, that was one of the craziest things I ever seen. But I have never in my life seen someone look so happy and peaceful standing in the middle of a lake. And I didn't know what to say. Obviously, I was like, thank you. Like, and I left. That was my first test of faith. That later that night, the star, remember I told you about the star that lived in the sky, and it always caught my eye. That star is no longer like a star. Like, it's not a twinkle in the star. It's literally a silhouette of Christ. When I look up into the sky now, it's literally a drawing of Christ. Like, it's actually insane, but it's cool. And the last night, because I went to work, and this was the last night where he didn't even come into my, he came into my apartment. I was tired, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, Christ, look, I know you got stuff to teach me, but I am actually fatigued now. Like, I need rest now, right? Y'all ever seen that meme where, like, Jesus is doing like this around the corner? Literally. And, like, my girlfriend at the time, she had a cat, and the cat was reacting to him literally at the freaking door. I'm like, you ain't never came into the apartment, so this got to be important. So go to the park. It's like midnight. He's teaching me his things. I get to watch, like, his resurrection, how, like, the rock moved from the cave he was in, and then, like, I got to see it from his vision. Like, he was like, literally, close one eye. So I do this, and I could see the world through Christ's eyes. Like, it's crazy that his sight is different. He doesn't see color or anything. Like, it's crazy. So I see his resurrection and stuff. It was a whole bunch more that he taught me and told me, but I see that. I don't want the video to be too long. I'll get into everything else after, like, the totality of everything, y'all. Like, I promise. So he tells me to take a lap, like, around the lake. And it's 4 in the morning, like 3:30, 4 in the morning. And tell me why I'm about to go around the whole lake. And the song, that Spirit Lead Me Again, comes on randomly. I'm like, ain't no way I'm getting in this lake at 4 in the morning. I literally keep going around the lake. I see the bubbles come up, and he's like, close one eye. So I close one eye and I look at it like this. I see, like, literally, like, Christ's head, and it was bleeding from here, and then, like, his eyes. It looked like something out of a horror film, like, but I was like, it didn't scare me. Like, there was no fear with it. It just, it was just Christ, and he was bloody, like, all in his face and stuff. So where the bubbles came up, I watched the water turn from, like, dark water to, like, red, like, to wine, like water to wine. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so once again, I ain't gonna lie. I stood there for about 15 minutes because I was like, I really got to get in this water, and it's pitch dark. And this is like the blood of Christ I'm looking at now. Like, okay. So I get in, swim out to where the bubbles are. I go underwater. I'm looking around just like I did that morning, that previous day, and it was just red. All I seen was red. Like, I was like, this is Christ's blood. This is actually insane. And I ended up coming back out the water, and I just, whoo, man, I just sat there soaking wet. It was warm, so I was good. Like, I was like, I cannot believe that. And I'll be dropping I've recorded myself both times after I got in the water, both times, and that'll be the videos after this. But yeah, I didn't want to leave that out because that helped me with what I had to do yesterday, what I did Wednesday, I mean. So I had to let y'all know, catch y'all up with that. I didn't want to leave that out. So on to the next videos.